Episode 8, the Victory. We are back after a short little break. A fun break, though, despite the Vikings loss that we got to see in person. Well, actually, back-to-back losses because we haven't shot podcasts since before that Lions game. How we doing, Pat?
The whole year I've said we're doing great. Every time you ask me that question, this is the first time I've said, little under the weather, little depressed, little concerned, all of the above. Vikings,
What?
0-2 in the last 2 games in the span of 5 days. It's been hard.
Weather's getting colder in North Dakota, so is the Vikings play and record.
Right.
Not a good sign for the boys, but trying to stay optimistic because this is a season where we didn't have high expectations and we've already exceeded them. So,
Right.
whatever happens, it is what it is. Obviously, start off 5-0. You're first in play. You're first in the division. You're first in the conference. You're tied for first in the NFL.
Right.
2 losses in 5 days.
Everybody's
And
got you
just
power
like
ranked
that.
like number 1 or number 2. I mean, we felt
Yeah.
so good. We felt so
And
good.
just like that, we go to one game, Pat, and look what happens. Had to ruin it, didn't we?
I know.
Anyways, we caught a really, really bad break in Los Angeles because Nakua and Cup played their first game of the year together. And we ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw. I think the Rams could be good for the near seeable future. There we go. The pick god strikes again, Pat. Are you foreshadowing our next episode, or what are we doing with this name on the Victory?
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody knows, if you don't watch our other podcast, that I'm the pick god, and last week I struck again. I can't lose the spreads this year. My record is insane. I don't know. I have it on my app, but I think my picks have been a little bit different between that app and our thing. But I think I have 80 some wins already, which is nuts.
It's not
80
that
and like 50 or something.
It's decent. It's not great. I wouldn't get ahead of yourself. Just kidding. All right. Should we get into the Vikings talk?
Let's do it.
Let's start with 3 losers of the week because
of the last 2 weeks. I put mine together.
Yeah, we play on Sunday and Thursday, so that week. We'll do the lead. Yeah, I put mine together too. Okay, number 3 for me, Jalen Naylor. That dropped pass to possibly tie the game, or at least if they missed the 2-point conversion, get in striking distance, was huge. I put 30% of the blame on Sam Darnold not running it because there was a little bit of a lane in front of him. He could have ran
100%.
it. 100%. They decide to kick a field goal. But Jalen Naylor, it's funny because before the game, we were having a little bit of a debate between KJ Osborne and Jalen Naylor. And I was like, I'd take Osborne any day of the week. I thought he's a better route runner, better hands. And Jalen Naylor, I think, still has a good future ahead of him. He has some upside. But I don't like what I've seen from him in the last couple of weeks. Anyways, that was a big loser for me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That was a huge momentum shift in that game. I'm mostly putting my blame on the defense. That's foreshadowing. My number 3 was our offensive line in the Rams game. We got 0 push for rushing. Aaron Jones ran like 20 times for 50 yards or something like that. I mean, he's been running well all year. That was the first time against a bad Rams defense that he looked pretty pedestrian. And that was a game we really needed him. Obviously, they put up 30 points against our defense. So it was tough. We were driving the ball well. Sam Darnold played well. A couple touchdowns, 280 some yards passing. Just really needed to punch those in the when we were in the red zone. We settled for 2 field goals. That was the difference in the game.
Yeah, scored touchdowns on our first 2 drives of the game, and after that it was a couple field goals and nothing else, but letting up lots of yards to Nakua and Cup. All right, who's your number 2 star? L of the
number
week.
Number 2 L. Like I said, I'm going to talk mostly about our defense because I think our defense has actually been complete 180. We were first in the league in points per game. Then we were like last in the last 2 games. So total 180 for our defense. And I'll put a huge blame on our pass rush. No sacks. I think we had 1 sack against the Lions, no sacks against Stafford. These are veteran quarterbacks where if you blitz and you don't get home, they're going to find an open receiver. You have to, if you're blitzing, you have to get home. And we've not been able to get home, not be able to get the hand on the ball. it's been tough. Our pass rush has been a huge liability the last couple of games.
This goes hand in hand with my second L of the week, which is Brian Flores. The first 5 weeks, you could put Brian Flores and Sam Darnold as 1A, 1B for the reasons for success. Maybe Kevin O'Connell too. Brian Flores looked like the greatest defensive coordinator of all time through 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm putting blame on him because here's where I'm putting blame on him. Versus the Jets, we were in Aaron Rodgers' lap all game long. And you just brought up veteran quarterbacks and Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford and how they're getting rid of it. Aaron Rodgers didn't have time to get rid of it because we were in his lap. So what happened from the Jets game during the bye? Then they had the bye week, and then they had the Lions. What happened in that window for Brian Flores not to dial up any pressure? Because I know Blake Cashman's out, but despite Blake Cashman being out, it, like you said, it was a complete 180. And I put a lot of that on the defensive coordinator for not dialing up any pressures.
Right.
That's why he was so good through the first 5 weeks of dialing up. I mean, we blitzed more than anyone in the league. And honestly, I was a little bit buzzed during the Rams game, but I was able to see what was going on. I mean, I was every single play. I was like, are we ever going to blitz? I don't think we blitzed one time that game.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I don't know if we blitzed once. And
brutal.
same kind of versus the Lions. Like we had 1 sack, but not many pressures. So what happened between the Jets game going into the bye week and then after the bye week versus the Lions? Why did Brian Flores change it up?
Right. I don't know. I'm thinking back to the Detroit game first, and then we'll go to the Rams game. It seems like it was a lot of it was Jahmyr Gibbs that really killed us. And I think that maybe opened up their passing game a bit. Montgomery was only held for 50 yards or something like that. I can check, but it seemed like every time Jahmyr was touching the ball, it was 10 yards. I don't know what the reason is that. I don't know what the reason for that is. I don't know if it's because Montgomery is a little bit of a slower back. We were able to get to him where Jahmyr is good. Jahmyr is so shifty, so fast. And I don't know. That opened up their pass game. That opened up our defense in general. I think we were kind of scared to blitz because as soon as we would blitz, they'd hit a screen. That would, and same with the Rams game. Every time we blitzed on that first drive of the Rams game, I don't know if you remember that, but every time we got past their line, he would dump it off to Cup or dump it off.
Dude, I remember the amount of wide receiver screens that they ran versus us.
And it was working because we were getting by there. We were getting a little bit of pressure and they just dump it off for 20 yards. Right. And that's just, that's playing good offensive coordinators. Ben Johnson's a good offensive coordinator. Sean McVay obviously calls the plays. He's a good offensive coordinator / head coach. So you got to kind of tip your cap sometimes, but we have a lot of work on defense if we want to be a good playoff team.
We can get into it a little bit, but all right, we'll say our number 1 L's of the week, and then I'm going to get into something that kind of goes off what we were just saying. Who's your number 1 L?
Kind of still same subject here, but defense versus veteran quarterbacks. When we played CJ Stroud, when we played Brock Purdy, younger quarterbacks, every time we were dialing up pressure, they were confused. And when we got pressure, they didn't know where their hot route was. We would be able to get pressure, get sacks. And against these better quarterbacks that have them a little bit more, other than Aaron Rodgers, I don't know why he wasn't picking us apart, but against these other veteran quarterbacks like Stafford and Goff, when we're getting pressure, they know where they're going to with the ball. And maybe that's because they have a better offensive coordinator too, but it's going to be tough when we play these young quarterbacks. I'm confident when we're playing young QBs. If we play Caleb Williams, if we play, younger quarterbacks, we're going to be fine. But
Jordan Love,
these older you're right.
Other than the second half,
but I'm a little scared about
these good. My number 1 L is actually, and it might be kind of shocking, but it's the secondary, dude. They have been absolutely torn apart. And what's weird about putting the number 1 L on the secondary as a whole is I can't pick anyone out individually. Like, it's not like I'm watching the games. I'm like, oh man, Byron Murphy's getting picked apart, or Gilmore's getting picked apart. Yeah. It's everyone. I mean, we led the league in interceptions, I think, in the first 5 weeks as a team. And since then, dude, go look at Jared Goff and go look at Matt Stafford's stats. A lot of that, I know we talked about some wide receiver screens, but a lot of that is down the field passes, and our secondary is getting torn apart. So I don't love it. Just tailing off that a little bit. Did the Vikings lose their identity? Have we lost our identity?
Yeah, we were a scary defense to play. And now I think we did lose a lot of that confidence and a lot of that, just swagger.
I think our identity the first 5 weeks, which was really impressive, was um, really good defense, dialing up pressure, getting to the quarterback on defense, and then and just being fast. And I think we've gotten a
Yeah.
little bit slower. We haven't dialed up as many pressures. And then offense, it was honestly running the ball well enough so that Sam Darnold could have easy down the field passes. And now they can't even run the ball, which doesn't allow Sam Darnold to get comfortable, which does, I mean, it just screws everything up. So the identity, the first 5 games was unbelievable, and they stuck to it. And after, dude, I'm telling you, I don't know what that bye week did. That bye
I know.
week, they're a totally different team. I know you're facing one of the best teams, the Lions, coming out of the bye, but then the
Yeah.
Rams, even when the Rams are healthy, it's a team you can beat, and you're favored by 3 points, and
Yeah.
they just couldn't.
I mean, yeah, they say the Lions, every team that they've played, the next week they lose that game throughout this entire year. Actually, going back to last year too. So this
It's
will
like
be a
the
good game.
Niners last year.
We got a mini bye this week to get shit right. This Colts game is huge. This will show us who we really are. If this game is super close, if the Colts win, I don't even know if we're a playoff team, to be honest. If we can
Yeah.
cream the Colts, if we can play really well, show what we showed against the Texans, show what we showed against the Niners, show what we showed against the Giants. If we can show that team, like, I'll have confidence again. But right now I'm right around the 500 team. That's where my brain's at. We're gonna be about 5. So anyway, I don't know if you saw me on my phone, but I was just doing some calculations. Matt Stafford and Jared Goff combined threw for 80% against us and 6 touchdowns.
Is that good?
And yeah, it's really good. And about 300, 200 or 500 and some yards combined. So yeah, it is our secondary. It's pass rush. It's secondary. It's our whole defense, man. It's kind of sad.
It's the whole defense. Do you want to do pessimistic, optimistic?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I kind of already said it, but I'm going to say it again. So my pessimistic Pat, don't even know my name.
Don't even say pack. A dirty word.
No pack, no.
No pack,
Um,
no.
I know the Vikings
Poor
losing a
lady
couple.
next to us at the casino.
Max
Just hearing
Max
me.
was chirping an 80-year-old at the casino and almost got us into like 3 fights at the Rams game.
Hey,
You're insane.
that's what sports are about, man.
Right.
That's why we're passionate.
Yeah, being mean to the elderly. That's what it's all about. Abuse.
They
Elder
shouldn't have been
abuse.
wearing a Packers jersey. It's not my
Right.
fault.
Yeah, at least you didn't set her on fire. That would have been fine. Okay. My pessimistic Pat. Um, I just think other teams have figured out our defense. They know where. I mean, I'm not saying they know where our pressure is coming from, but they at least have options for the quarterback. Being like, okay, if pressure comes here, you're going there. If pressure comes here,
Right.
you're going there. You have to play that way, and I think teams are figuring that out. And there's that Darisaw injury that makes me pretty pessimistic. It's a huge loss for us.
Dude, I was gonna kind of chime in here a little bit.
Yeah.
So optimistic Max was gonna be TJ Hawkinson's coming back. Dude, when I really think about it, TJ Hawkinson is coming back just to help block the left side of
You're right.
of the he's not even gonna be able to be like what he's good at,
I
which
know.
is catching the ball and running after the catch. Like we're literally just implementing one of our highest paid players who's coming back and he's a stud just to go in and take over for the guy that we just lost for the year. Not for
Yeah.
the year, dude. Darisaw could be out more into next year. ACL and MCL. That's not pretty.
100%. I don't know if you remember, but a couple of weeks ago I said, "Hey, we're 5-0. If we go 6-6 the rest of the way, we're a playoff team. 11-6." I mean, now that's 6-4 going down the stretch and having to play the Lions again, having to play the Packers again, Bears twice. Some tough teams and a lot of road games. We're playing bad teams coming up, but a lot of them are on the road. So those are 50-50 games. Those are hard games. So another pessimistic thing is with Darisaw gone, are we going to make the playoffs? NFC is tough.
Dude.
Are we going to make the playoffs? Who knows?
I can't say wrong. Also, though, like we're 5-2. We have the Colts at home. Then we have the easiest part of our schedule left. So that's where I'm going to be. That's where I'm going to be optimistic. I know it's on the road, but Jaguars can't even win a game. What is going on with the Colts quarterback room? Like, dude, I've never. I mean, Pat McAfee said best. A 22-year-old quarterback in the best shape of his life. was so rattled that he literally tapped out of the game. Like you've never seen that in the NFL before.
Yeah.
We've seen Deshaun Watson, who's 28, 29. We've seen Trevor Lawrence, who's 25, 26. They throw 4 picks a game. They throw for 120 yards. They're not tapping out of a game, dude. Like
Right.
they're in it, and props to them because they're struggling and clearly they're not right. But at least they're
Right.
like in the game, giving their team a chance to win. Anthony Richardson was like, he couldn't even like finish the game
Yeah.
because he was
Yeah.
so rattled. Like he's
Was
lost
it
so much
fatigue?
confidence.
Was it fatigue or what was it?
Yeah. So what happened was he got tackled on like a third down. They had a punt away, and there was like no injury, nothing was wrong with him. He was just standing on the sideline, nothing was wrong with him. He like tapped his helmet. The coach took him out, and Joe Flacco came in right at the end of the game.
What the heck? Well, you think
Weird.
about like
Weird stuff.
Justin Fields last year. He'd rush for like 100 yards, have people running him. He'd be like, had no offensive line, be running in the backfield, back and forth, finally throw it away. The next play, he'd scramble for 30 yards. Next play, be running.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to tap out, it's going to be somebody like that who's running constantly. And he never did. So, I mean, I get it. It doesn't really, it shows that he's maybe not as mentally strong as you'd want a quarterback and a leader on your team to be.
Who would you rather face this week, Joe Flacco or Anthony Richardson? Because did we not just talk about veteran quarterbacks?
Yeah, Anthony Richardson.
Tearing us apart.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson. But at least you don't have to worry at all about him moving. Flacco's, if he tries to run, he's dead. So,
dude, but
you don't have to worry about that at all.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is Joe Flacco, I know he's out of a prime, but is he not a mirror image of like a Stafford Goff where they just sit back and deliver the ball and pick apart our defense?
But he's worse. He's not as accurate.
Well, I get that.
Right.
I'm just saying, I think like, because when we played Jordan Love, I mean, Jordan Love doesn't move as much as Anthony Richardson, but like younger quarterbacks who like move a little bit better, like we were able to dominate them the first couple of weeks. Even honestly, Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, are they a good comparison? Like both mobile quarterbacks that aren't great. Like, and we absolutely ripped apart Daniel Jones. So I'm just saying, maybe we'd rather face Anthony Richardson.
100%. I think we would confuse the crap out of him, and he'd throw some picks too, which would be huge. But
so I'm with you there. But what else was I gonna? Optimistic Max. Obviously TJ Hawkinson's coming back, and then like I said, just easy part of the schedule. If we don't win after mini bye against a Colts team that seems like there's absolutely no leadership on the team, it's gonna be, oh boy, it could get rough.
Let's pull up our next 6 games here. We need to go 4-2.
I got our next 4 games right here.
You do? Okay. Next 6. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. So yeah, we got Jags, Colts, Jags, Titans, Bears, Cardinals, Falcons. I think odds are we beat the Colts. Let's say that's a dub. If we lose that game, we'll talk about it next week. Dub for the Colts. Jags on the road is going to be tougher than you think. Packers almost lost to the Jags on the road. Tough game. Titans we should beat. I mean, if the Titans beat us, what the fuck are we doing? What the frick are we doing? Bears on the road is always tough for us.
Yeah.
Bears on the road is always hard for us. They have a good defense. Cards on the road, that's always tough. No, at home. Sorry, we're at home. But they don't have a bad team. That should be a decent game. We'll probably be about, I would say Cards and the Colts is right around that 5-point spread for us.
Really?
What do you think?
I think Cardinals will be closer to like pick them. Maybe field goal, but maybe even pick them. Cardinals are solid. Yeah.
Us at home. It depends how we play, but if we had the Cardinals this week, I think we're 4.5, 5 point favorites, I'd say.
Think about that.
And then the Falcons. That's our 6th game. This is a big window for us. So if we can beat
Problem with that Falcons game is we're playing Kirk Cousins at 12 o'clock.
That's true. GOAT.
He's so good at noon games. He's just awful in prime time.
Because our last 4 games, Bears, going to be tough, divisional game. Seahawks on the road. Packers, tough game. And Lions.
At the Lions, yeah.
So, like, those 4, we need to go 4-2. And then hopefully win 1 or 2 of our last 4 to get to that 10-11 win mark.
Do you want to get into random Viking?
Let's do it.
I'm going to go first. Okay. This guy was a cornerstone piece in the success on the defensive side of the ball under Mike Zimmer. That could give it away right there.
Eric Kendricks.
Holy shnikes.
They get
We're a
it?
lot of guys to choose from, man. Daniil Hunter, Harrison Smith,
Nah,
Xavier
dude.
Rhodes.
Nah, brother. I got
You
you.
just got right on the money. I shouldn't have given you. I should have just said number 54. Whatever. Move on.
Right.
Dang it.
All right. Mine's going to be a little harder.
Well, not if
This
you give me
guy-
as easy of a hint as I gave you.
Right. Well, I'm going to make it harder than that. This guy played wide receiver, kick returner, and special teams in college, but did not play the position that he played in the NFL in college. He played a different position in the NFL.
Can I ask you, was
Wide
he a
receiver.
cornerback?
No.
Was he a running back?
He was number 14.
So was he wait, didn't you say he was wide receiver?
In college.
And he wasn't a wide receiver in the NFL?
No. I'm like 99% sure he was a wide receiver in college.
Was he a safety?
No.
Is he a running back? Wait, what
guy-
position was he?
I'll tell you later. Dude, I mean, I'm the one giving hints.
Okay.
He went in after Christian Ponder got hurt in a playoff game.
Oh, Webb.
Joe Webb. What a guy. Absolutely sold us that game. He was so bad in that playoff game. We had Adrian Peterson having the best career of his life. If we would have had any competent quarterback that year, we would have been a really good team.
I agree. Christian Ponder, dude. What a bum. All right. That's a good episode. We really need this one. Go Vikings.
We need it.
The Colts. Happy Halloween, Pat.
Happy Halloween.
Episode number 8, the victory. We are out. I'll have to edit it. 22-19. It's not ending for some reason.
I see that.